Welcome to Weekly Radio by Cas. I started this show because I have some utterly interesting topics to share with you all. In today's broadcast, we are going to talk about people. If there's one thing that never stops amazing me, it's people. Every single person you pass on the street carries an entire universe inside them. Memories, fears, dreams, little joys, quiet regrets. And you might never know any of it just by looking. We have introverted, extroverted, and even ambiverted people. Some may have anxiety, depression, or ESPD. That is why I personally think the human species is quite fascinating. On my late night walks, I often tend to see some walking into dark alleys, and I always wonder what kind of animal are they following this time. That's because every smile hides a story. Every silence has a reason, and every action, no matter how small, tells you something about the way someone sees the world. We want to be known, but we are afraid to be seen. We crave connection, but we build walls. We chase happiness, but we find meaning in our struggles. Speaking of animals, I love them just as much as others, especially forest animals like rabbits, because they are just like our people. They eat, sometimes socialize, sometimes not, and they really like to run. Like how we are like to do sports and eat healthy day to day. What are your favorite hobbies, dear listeners? Mine for sure is cooking. How silly am I? I think I left my dinner on the counter. Just give me a minute. Now that I'm back, let's continue. What's most fascinating is that no two people are ever the same. The way someone laughs, the rhythm of their thoughts, the little things they find beautiful, those are fingerprints of the soul. When you really start paying attention, you realize how incredible it is that we all coexist, crossing paths and shaping each other's stories in ways we'll never fully understand. That's why it's so nice getting to know a new person every single day. You get to know them, their interest, job, or sometimes insecurities. Psychology is an amazing topic too, but I'll leave it for another broadcast to discuss. Actually, here's one interesting story from my early days. I often visited the local post office for daily news of our community, and that's where I met a boy. Let's call him Lucas. Lucas was kind, liked music, and even played an instrument if I remember correctly. Everyone thought he was the life of our city, but I knew better. Why, you ask? As As I was mentioning, I was kind of an outcast back then, so I just listened, and one day I found out that he was selling stuff. And weeks later, he disappeared. What a shame. You've never guessed that he was like that. People always have another side. That's why I'm so interested about our nature. And you might still ask why I've chosen people as the main topic of today's show. Because they are everywhere. We study them, we love them, we depend on them. And sometimes we want more. Want to know about ourselves, others around us. Like I did when I had no friends back then, but fortunately it has changed with the time because I've learned to understand myself. So yes, people are complicated. Sometimes they're frustrating, unpredictable, even a little bit messy. But they are also endlessly interesting. Because in every person there's a story waiting to be told. And that's what makes the world such a captivating place to live in. Thank you for listening, everyone. I was Cas, and I'll be back next week.